Yeah. I already or showed it to somebody else. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so until.
Right, yeah.
this weekend, right? And it was 45 degrees.
I don't see that language in there.
Yours.
Broke your plate.
So,
Your plate.
I'm just,
okay, good, my word. I'm gonna take that.
You always go to the office and then you're.
No.
that's not mine. I grabbed mine.
Yes,
No, that's your.
I thought so. And that.
Start the meeting, please.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
So originally I had planned on doing two things before you all today. I'll kind of give some background on the job description. Rachel has been educating me on how some processes work, because in my brain, this doesn't make a lot of sense, but originally we had there's always been a deputy prosecutor position in the prosecutor's office. So there's been myself, the chief deputy, and then a deputy. The deputy position is paid by the county. Throughout the budget process, I got a raise for that position. So the salary was increased from what it originally was, because I was having quite a difficult time filling that position because the salary was only $50,000 per year. In kind of the in-between, because I was having trouble filling that position, but we had some other needs in the office, I did some creative things with the money that had already been funded for that position. And we created a third full-time for the caseworker. And then I had somebody come in and act as a part-time prosecutor. They were never, for varying reasons, we pay them on a part-time basis. The plan was always for me to create, or not to build up the salary for the deputy position. My thought was, because we never changed the job description for that quote unquote part-time person, that position was still a thing. And apparently, according to Rachel, it's not.
So
What is it now?
it's a part-time deputy prosecutor position, but she gave up the full-time deputy prosecutor position in lieu of adding a clerk in child support. So that was full-time was diminished. I looked in my job description folder. I don't see a deputy prosecutor job description, so I had asked her for it a while back, and I need that before we can make it full-time again.
When did this change?
It would have been in 2023, maybe like January or
It
February,
was in 2022.
2022.
I don't remember seeing that.
I mean, it didn't come, I don't even think it came before.
They would have approved the full-time additional clerk in your child support is
Yeah.
what they would have approved.
They would, right.
Yeah, I don't.
But the money has been budgeted for the full-time deputy
Okay.
as of the budget cycle. So, I mean, the money's already been approved. And I actually think we had this conversation back in July when the budget hearings occurred.
So the council approved the deputy prosecutor full-time pay,
Okay,
contingent upon the commissioner's approval of the job description. And if our budget was, approved by the DLGF. So if our budget's been approved by the DLGF, we're just waiting for the job description.
And there's a part of me that thinks that I submitted a job description because that was a joint meeting. And my computer has since crashed and I didn't have one on my new computer. And I'm gonna look through the 10 jump drives I have of documents that I've saved to see if I can find one, but I thought it had already been submitted.
you have the funding in there? Yeah, I'd say once we get the job description, then we can move forward.
Okay, perfect. The other request that I had, I will get that job description and I will, if I can't find it, I will get one authored and sent to you all. The other funding request is I'm requesting something in my main budget that I don't have are trial expenses. We've had we typically operate with the PTD fund for most of our office expenses in terms of training, any kind of resources that we need and that sort of thing. But in terms of trial expenses, specifically expert testimony, I'm requesting a funding line item in my regular budget to cover those expenses simply because I can't not pay for expert testimony. And the pretrial diversion fund is very much contingent upon whether we're giving pretrial diversions out and whether those people end up paying. So I'm requesting a line item for those types of expenses specifically. I would even say we could go so far just to say trial expenses, expert testimony in the amount of $10,000.
Now that's the kind of research I do remember is you were worried about funding levels in the pre-trial diversion stuff. And we had moved salaries out of that in order to preserve that. But we're still depleting that but faster than it's being replenished and not able to fund what you want to fund out of it.
It's very much contingent upon whether people are paying. I mean, we have I had a conversation with somebody last week who was offered a pretrial diversion in state court 3 months ago and still hasn't paid for it. Trial expenses, especially your expert witness testimony, is very expensive. I have 2 outstanding invoices that I've sent over to Rachel in the amount of $4,500. That sound about right? For 4.5 hours for a medical examiner to come and testify. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of pretrial diversions that we would have to give out to raise that kind of money. And so I don't think that I've never thought that it was appropriate for the prosecutor's office, the budget for the prosecutor's office to rely on giving out pretrial diversions, because that puts an expectation on the police that they pull more people over, for example, because we do traffic infraction deferrals. And so I don't think that's an appropriate way to use the diversion fund. And while I understand budgetary things and I understand that money is tight, I also don't think that I don't think the prosecutor's office should be forced to worry about the PTD fund in order to fund things like trial expenses.
Right now, you just want the line up.
Correct. Or the specific thing of trial expenses, expert testimony.
I'd be okay if it's approved by the county.
Yeah,
Make
we should be able to figure out how to
Right,
move the funds into it, just create the fund for it.
right.
What's the specific name we're gonna call this
I would just
line item?
trial expenses / expert witness testimony.
Make a motion to create trial expense line item in the prosecutor's budget.
Second. I'll second. All in favor?
Got it?
Yes. Jennifer?
Thanks for having me over and allowing me to come talk to you guys today. I'm bringing forth a proposal to utilize some of our next level recovery funding. This is for a project that is called Pulse Point. And I just kind of wanted to talk about the whys first. So if you look at this graph, you'll see where we're at in Stark County with our premature deaths, which I think is pretty, it's a pretty good representation of where we look at health statistics in our county. I am the manager of the trauma service line in Franciscan Health in Crown Point. I also oversee St. Kitts, Northwest Indiana, which was my baby. It started about 10 years ago. And we've been bringing injury prevention efforts over to Stark County since I started in that role. And then looking at this is our injury death rates, which I don't have the graph for, but I will tell you that if you look at the county maps, you can see that we're in the dark region. So our injury death rates are about 120 per 100,000 people. That's compared to a national norm of about 63 per 100,000. So we're almost double that in injury death rates. So what we wanted to do was look at the next level recovery money, which is set forth for harm reduction strategies, prevention, and education. The Pulse Point app is an application that goes on a phone and it connects through your dispatch. There are several counties in the state that are already doing this. Clark County is doing it. Clay Township in St. Joe County is doing it. South Bend Police are doing it. LaPorte's getting ready to unload the process. But I think for Stark County, it's really important for us due to our long our EMS coverage and our long transport times for our EMS agencies. So what this would do is people would download the app onto their phone and it would go through dispatch. So if there was CPR needed or a naloxone emergency or a bleeding emergency, it would come across on the Pulse Point. And it's just I'm from North Judson, so I'm going to use North Judson as an example. But let's say that there's a cardiac arrest or a choking emergency that is at Route 10 Bar and Grill. And there's an AED that is across the street at the gas station. If somebody sees that, they can grab the AED. It'll show them exactly where the CPR is needed, where the AED is located so that AED can be borrowed, taken over, so that we reduce the amount of time that we're starting CPR, which we know saves lives, right? So I think it's really important for our rural communities when we look at health outcomes to look at this technology in a way that we can really help reduce the burden of these kind of things and also kind of help facilitate some quicker responses amongst our emergency medical providers. So the application in itself comes with education, obviously, and what we're doing in Lake County as I work with the trauma system out there is we've developed a community physical and mental health first aider program where we provide 16 hours of education that could be split up. However, we also have some community partners that we've developed along the way. So we're not asking for any of this. This is something that we would help facilitate for the county, which would be the mental health first aid training, the CPR training, the naloxone training, and the stop the bleeding first aid training. So we can divvy that out, and we've already got a couple companies or agencies in the county that are interested. I'll tell you, we put our first class out for February in Lake County. We filled the class and actually we have 400 people that are on a waiting list already. That's after sending out within a month. So we've been really impressed with the way that that's rolling out. So myself, Marissa Adcock, who's from Knox, it works with me. So we would work together to bring the training and some of the training supplies that we would provide a toolbox to every participant that came through our classes. What I'm asking for from the county is the funding for the Pulse Point app, which is $18,000. And there's a quote for the Pulse Point app. That would be to upload it through dispatch, and they would work with the county dispatch to bring that forth. And that can come through our next level recovery funding. It's fits in prevention and naloxone training, community education. And it also would fit in our Indiana First healthcare funding that's out there now for the health departments. So either way, the funding level is out there for the project. It's just something that I think would be really good for our county. So.
Rachel, can we use that out of that health money that come?
The health department, the health first. I'm gonna say, why not? How much is it?
18,000.
What are we currently using the next level fund for? You know?
You mean the health department one?
No, the other one.
Opioid settlement.
Or the orphan? Right now, so far, the flock cameras came out of there, and then the Gearhart psychiatric services for community corrections.
And the payment on the annual payment on that is nowhere near 18 grand a year.
This is
Right.
18 grand the first
That we're
year.
getting through from the settlement.
That's 50-some thousand.
Is it that much still? Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna drop significantly.
I'll have to look to see.
How much after 18,000?
8 annually.
$8,000.
Mhm.
Jack, since this would impact dispatch, do you have an opinion on it?
And then.
I'm waiting on Stacy to give me a text back.
Have you spoke with dispatch at all?
I have not.
Okay, that might be something just to figure out what the pull would be on dispatch. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know much about the program, but that would be my thought first is see what that's going to encompass with the dispatch.
The whole sheriff's department.
The,
Those two right there are the restricted, and at least you can see the cash balance on there.
okay.
This should be able to come out of the abated area.
Um. I'd like to hear more opinions from our existing first responders. And see what, you know, make sure this is going to be an enhancement to what we're already doing. You know, and. Emergency services, law enforcement, and fire are. Our county experts as far as how to respond to things, so.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear from them a little bit more on this. Before we take an actual action.
Right. You're not wanting her to do it, right? You're gonna get a little more.
Think with,
That's a good question.
I think with, you have most of the info on, what it, the details of it and stuff, I think. I hate to put it on you, but I think you should talk with them and see.
Yeah, that should be a part of the presentation, is making sure that we have buy-in from the emergency responder, the stakeholders within emergency services.
We could try to get something together even at the sheriff's department. I can talk with you after.
That would
And
be,
get Kenny and Jim and everybody, see if we can just get everybody kind of together.
that would be wonderful. That would be great. Yes, and I think I have.
Yeah, I'm gonna move to the table this.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I asked Eric to kind of explain to me what the contract, I know throughout the years, the department has always bid their fuel,
Right.
which I understand, but then again, I don't understand because co-op is the only local
Right.
place that we have, and we like to buy local.
Well, this is something I was hoping we could get done. The last time we brought it up, Dan came at us with contracts from everybody but co-op.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of talk about, the dollar amount and the bid process at the time. And which struck me as odd. It felt kind of like we were being a little bit railroaded into not deciding on utilizing a local resource to its fullest extent. So,
There's always one to come fix our stuff.
right.
When you do that.
Kenny was always really good about that, and I've tried to do the same as far as, when you guys have issues, we're the closest ones, so that kind of means something as well, but, I worked with Dan, I did a lot of the legwork, and I was supposed to come to a commissioners meeting when he was involved, and he's just like, I don't think we need you now, after I put all these numbers together for him, so it kind of frustrated me a little bit, but I can tell you guys a little bit about how our contracts work with Country Mark. And he wanted to stick with a premium diesel. Country Mark has a premium diesel. We do have access to number 2 fuel. I don't know moving forward what you guys are going to decide to do. If you're going to bid that out, you just have to be careful what you're buying or what you're comparing if you're bidding fuels, because if you're getting it from another competitor, I don't want to throw names out there, you're probably not comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges. But basically we can go out 18 months, lock in a price. Those prices change by the second. I brought my laptop with me. I mean, they jump around all over the place. Obviously, it's a very volatile market with what's going on in the Middle East right now. Election years, normally fuel stays fairly consistent, and we're coming into an election year. Inventories are building. So, it's kind of anybody's guess what things are doing right now, but I did put some numbers together just for the rest of 2024 if you needed to see those. But, you know, there's multiple options. We can go out 18 months. We have the ability to flex contract fuel. So if you guys wanted to lock in, I have to contract in 7,500 gallon increments as a semi load. If you guys wanted to lock in a group of months at a time, I have to take the highest price out of that group of months. So if you wanted to go February through April, I have to take the highest price in that month. That's just something I wanted to throw out there.
Is it the same when you lock in a year or 18 months?
Every month has a different lock-in price.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so,
okay.
and I have all those here, and you know, there's about 12 cents difference for this whole year. You know, some months are only a couple tenths of a cent different. But, you know, like I said, those prices change by the second. I just put these numbers together as we were sitting here before the meeting. I have yesterday's numbers, closed yesterday evening. And there's about a 4 cent difference just from last night to what it was this morning. So, you guys only pay state tax on that. I just included all those prices today. There is a 2 cent upcharge for winter blend fuel. So if you guys are, I'm gonna give you just a regular price. And obviously like November through March is normally when we run winter blend, there'd be a 2 cent upcharge on that for the winter blend. And
And
then,
you'll take care of that, or will Rachel have to tell you?
well, it's kind of at your guys' discretion now. Obviously, we get into March and we're in the second week of March and it looks like 70-degree temps. Then I'll, you know, we kind of use our discretion if you want to run, stay safe or chance it, but our regular summer blend fuel is good for about 1 degree above right now. So even our summer blends
Yeah.
good for pretty good. Our winter blend right now is treated for about -13, and then we do also have a winter blend extreme, which is good for about -17 right now. So like I said, that's just, you know, kind of discretion with what she wants to spend or you guys want to spend on that. The other thing, the negative thing to contracts is penalty. If for some reason you guys lock in a contract and don't use it or can't hold it or something, the penalty is the difference in the daily average rack price for the 5 following days of the month. So you can't hold that. If you have a January contract, you can't hold it. Whatever the daily rack price is 5 days after that. So the first 5 market days of February, you take that average of what your difference is in your contract, and that would be your penalty. That makes sense. So you have it locked in at $2. The next 5 days are $2.05. You're going to pay that, whatever that difference is. So.
And that's incurred when we don't take delivery.
If you don't take delivery, and that's where that flex contract kind of protects you on that. I think that's a 20,000 gallon tank out at the county, so you have a little bit of room for that. And I should have printed out the what your guys' usage is, but granted,
Say we should know what our pretty consistently what our usage is. I doubt that there's a whole lot of variability.
it just depends on
Once
what.
a month, sometimes once every 2 months for diesel.
Yeah.
This is only diesel that we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
So you say if we make a contract, asking for like 10,000 a month, we gotta use that 10,000.
correct. Yep. And like I said, that's where that flex kind of works in. And that's why I work with some farmers that are like, well, we might not, you know, if it warms up in May but we're worried about holding that, we can flex it out into June, you know, like May through June, there's about 9/10 of a cent difference. So just to protect you from paying that penalty, you can flex it out into a following month. That'll give you a little bit of extra time to pull that contract if that's something you guys are. It might cost you,
You'd be
you know,
good on that one.
might cost you a penny, or, you know, like I said, that's, if you guys are serious about locking something in, I can sit down and, you know. But I should have, like I said, I should have pulled the usage for what you guys are looking at, but I guess first thing is we got to figure out if you guys are wanting a contract fuel or not, so. But that's kind of just how our contracts work. So like I said, we can go out 18 months. And that's about all I have on the contracts.
So if we do a year or 18 months, each month it's different.
It's each month
whatever
it's
year.
different for whatever month you want to lock those gallons in for. Yep.
Like if you get us a contract, let us see what it's gonna cost us for a year or 18 months.
So that was 7,500 gallons.
7,500 gallon increments is what I have to pull. Yep.
So what if she orders, I don't know, like 7,000 or whatever, she gotta pay this 7,500.
If
Which I
she,
mean, might not even happen,
if
but
my minimum on contracts is 2,000 gallons. So what happens with like small farmers that only can hold 6,000 or 7,000 gallons? I'll lock in that 7,000 gallons and I'll take the extra 500 and we'll just. Use it for our own use and I just, yeah, so if she's only, like I said, I have to pull 7,500 gallon increments per Country Mart, but just to kind of. Take care of the customer.
Right.
If you guys can't hold 7,500, if you want to lock in 7,000, I'll take the extra 500 back to our bulk plant.
What is our total storage capacity on site
I
there?
think about 20,000.
20,000?
Yeah. So,
So we should, I mean, even if it's once a month, I mean, we should be fine.
Yeah, we should have the roof space
Yeah.
for it.
I mean, once you start running asphalt and that, I mean.
Yeah.
Just trucking and stone, it's gonna go up.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and, but he needs, so like, I would want you guys to approve it today, because like. If we wait till the next commissioners meeting to do the contract, those are the prices we're gonna get, am I right?
correct, yeah.
Not
It's
like today's prices.
Yeah,
So, but if we say today, then we'll start on today's price.
correct. And like you're in that 226 to, I'm sorry, 326 to 336 range. And that's all taxes and freight included on that. And if you need that broke down, I can break that down as well, because when I do my bids, I have to put our base price and then the taxes and they're separated. So I don't know how you guys need to see that on paper, but I can make that available. But just because I knew this was going to be like a not a time sensitive meeting, I just put the total number together just so it was kind of easier to understand. So
Would you have time to make out the contract during the commissioners meeting and then come up again at the end?
absolutely.
All right, let's do that. I think the Wi-Fi password
Oh,
is back there too.
I do have, I'm already hooked up,
Okay.
but
Is that okay?
well,
Yeah.
do you know what I'll be looking at?
I'd say it's the whole year.
Okay, just like 7,500 gallons a month for the year. Just give me a few
What if
minutes.
we need more? I mean, I don't think we will, but hypothetically.
You could just buy it on the cash market, I mean, or. If you want to lock in more, we have a heavy snow amount, and you're like, hey, need a contract for next month, our tank's getting low, we can always add on or adjust, so.
Would you call Kim and add that she got to pay for what we use a month now? You know that?
They would probably be able to pull it faster.
Well, the only bad thing, I was just thinking about this while we were talking, since it's bidded out now, I wouldn't have
You
your
don't have
guys'
that?
yearly usage because we don't get all the bids sometimes.
Right,
so-
right.
Sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
I mean, we use 8,000, I don't want to have 75 and be, you
exactly.
know what I mean?
I
Can
think we'll be fine with 75.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I really do.
Well, and 7,500 gallons a month, and like I said, if you guys need a splash, our truck has 5 compartments. If you need just a little bit to get you by until you
Right.
get to that next month,
Right,
when your
right.
next contract rolls, I'd be more than willing to do that just to lock in fuel for the year. So I know I have the gallons.
Right?
I probably wanna start February, right?
Yeah, I
January.
can't lock in
Okay,
anything
for January,
yeah.
so we'd start February. Okay.
Yes, so, do you want all the way into next February, or you just want through the end of 24?
Can we do all the way into next February?
Sure.
Give me a few minutes. I'll get working on
All right.
this.
They'll probably be an hour, so you have time.
Okay.
Get comfortable.
You can sit at this table if you need to.
Yeah, they'll stay over at
You need
here.
a table, you can sit out there. Ryan?
Good morning.
Hello.
Nice to see you all. So, we're just coming back to talk about how, with a lot of discussions happening with community health right now, we're looking at establishing a committee with a wellness fund that already exists at the community foundation. So all we're asking for commissioners is some representation, and we just wanted to kind of explain, what we're looking to do with that. So just as a reminder, I'm the Director of Development for the Community Foundation. This is Corinne Lucas, who's the NICF Associate Director, and Jay Albright, who's the NICF Executive Director. So right now we have an existing wellness fund that exists to provide support for charitable public health organizations and programs that strengthen and improve community health. And we felt like it would be just an opportune moment to get experts from the healthcare field together to sit at a table, sort of establish what programs and projects and organizations are already driving efforts and put money behind those, and then establish where maybe there's some gaps where we could put some money behind those as well with this funding that we do have through the Community Foundation. So it would just kind of work similar to what committees and boards that we already have, they meet on a quarterly basis, they sort of would consider requests that are related to community health and wellness. And right now, as far as the makeup of it, we're looking to have an active Stark County physician, the Stark County health nurse, a hospital board representative, somebody who would be from a federally qualified health center, so like HealthLink, and then a representative from the mental health and recovery sector, and then somebody from the courts, and then a commissioner and a council member, and then representation from the community foundation. I've already received some positive reception from Frank Lynch, who's the county health nurse. Marty Lucas has been recommended to be the hospital board rep. He provided approval that he would be on a committee like this. Melissa Mitchell from HealthLink also seems to be receptive to it and feels like it'd be something she'd be interested to be on. And then we've had discussions with Dave Pierman and some of these recommendations, including Gorley is mentioned as the commissioner representative, and I know he was supposed to touch base with you ahead of time, but if you guys decided amongst yourselves that you wanted to make another recommendation, obviously we'd be open to hearing that. But that was just one of the things we wanted to come and say. The discussions we started last year are continuing, and we just feel like it's a good time to make sure that, you know, we're all on the same page and getting some feedback from the people who are, you know, doing the efforts locally. So yeah, that's what we have to share with you today, and would just be, you know, open to hearing, you know, if the commissioners had somebody, you know, else in mind for some of these positions, or, you know, for your guys'
When you
representation.
talk to Frank, is he gonna be able to make them meetings?
So when I talked to him, he said he would, he seemed like open to it, and that he felt like he'd be kind of back up and running. I think we're looking at establishing, like, once we kind of get the approval from the people who are recommended, but yeah, Frank did seem to be, you know, in favor of being on it, and a part of it, so.
Yeah. We can know more.
Absolutely.
And yeah, one of the things we felt like from when we had our discussions last year was just that it would be really beneficial to kind of give officials an insight into how our process works, how the granting process works, and kind of see how that functions, you know, before we, you know, have any more discussions about anything else. So
If you and Charlie don't want, I'll say, you know, whatever.
Hang on. Somebody's
yeah, no, we don't need.
somebody's watching us on YouTube and texting me about what we're talking about. So, yeah, no, I think it's a good idea, and I certainly would like to be a part of it.
That's fine.
Well, great. So then we'll just keep you posted about when we establish the schedule for the meetings, and sort of, you know, make sure that everybody's kept in the loop about how that develops. And thank you for letting us have a little bit of time during your meeting today.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Washington Township trustee.
It's ma'am.
It's
Don't need to be nervous.
It's just us.
I know, I talked to you guys.
Right.
All right. I have received this on the tower out there at Washington Township, that belongs to the county. And I discussed it with the gentleman, which I was gonna bring him up, but I don't think he wanted me to be up here. Because I had COVID for 2 weeks.
And we don't need that.
No. But anyhow, it's been a great concern of mine of children, which I've caught them climbing the tower while parents are in the building partying.
Right.
And they've been chased off and a couple different times, and that I just can't sit down there and babysit the tower. And plus we have equipment on the tower that is subject to be stolen.
Right.
To keep people, you know, off of it. And the tower belonging to the county. I felt that I needed to request your help.
I'll put you on the hot seat a bit.
I like putting people in the hot seat, as long as it ain't me.
You know, rapid fire question that you weren't prepared for. So with it being a county owned structure. Do we have a duty to enhance the safety measures around this tower for, as she's saying, parents that aren't particularly mindful of their children's actions?
Yeah, if it's a question concerning general liability, it's what we call an attractive nuisance. You know, being made aware that there's kids and stuff playing around, even if they shouldn't be there, you know, we could be liable if somebody's injured. The county be drug into a lawsuit, the same as the township would if something were to happen, so it's for the cost of $800. Just kind of like the pool, right? Like it's an attractive nuisance, you should put fencing around it just to be safe.
Is it both of these amounts combined?
I'm assuming it's the same thing. That's what he sent it to me both.
That's what it looks like. It's got the metal on there.
I'd like to see it be 6 foot on
Well, I can call him back, have him resubmit a new
I
one.
would like to see a new bid like that. I mean, 4 foot,
Yeah, climb over that.
yeah. With 6, they could too, but it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
I'd rather make it higher.
Put razor wire around the top of it too.
I want electric fence.
You can pay the bill for that too.
No,
If you would, get you another bid or whatever. and come
for
on that.
6 foot.
Yeah.
6
Okay.
foot. How far do you know? Is he going like 6 by 6 or how big around the tower?
I'm not quite sure because he did it and then I ended up sick, so.
Well, there's a measurement here that says 48 inches by 96 inches.
That might be the
That's
diameter of
The
the,
length,
The,
like Charlie said, it only
There's only
3 inches, like a triangle or something.
yeah,
Yeah, if you would talk to him and
you want it 6 foot,
foot.
okay,
And I want-
three,
how
yeah,
big
there's
he's
3
going.
pieces,
okay.
96 inches by 48.
Maybe I can get him to come up here at the get registered and get him to come with so he can answer the questions.
Right, well, if we're paying him, he's gotta get ready.
Well, that was my thing is that he had told me, which I don't know where he heard it, that township was supposed to pay for it and then the county reimburses. Well, I don't know.
Is
That-
it an actual fence or is this?
It's a screen. It's a metal screen
So it-
that's wrapped around the tower
It's
itself.
actually attached to the tower. Okay,
Correct.
so it's not a fence.
Yeah, expanded metal, yeah, it's.
And
Okay.
he's got it, he left it because of the
Okay.
4-ways box on the other, you know, on the north side of the tower.
So he must stand above the tower.
Well, it's like, because I've seen these, it's not a fence, it's on the tower. Basically. Doesn't give anyone purchase to climb it.
Isn't it something like McDonald's has?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know exactly
It's gonna keep-
what that
I
looks
just
like.
glanced at it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mesh. And it doesn't unless they got really, really tiny fingers smaller
Right.
than this pen diameter.
And one surely must open somehow.
Yeah, yeah, there'll be probably a hinge over the panel that's covering the ladder, access ladder.
I'd be ready with that, probably you got registered.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's gonna do the work, then he's gotta be registered.
Right.
I'll make the motion that we approve the. Bid from house to home, for the metal sheets, total of $800.64.
Put in there, get it registered.
And if he's registered.
Second.
What are we paying for it? Well, I guess. Yeah, let's just do that.
That's in your motion.
Yeah, that's in the motion.
Second,
Now, do you want,
Favor? Go ahead.
you want me to get one for 6 foot? Or
No,
the-
no, no, no.
Doing it the way they're talking is totally different what I was thinking. I thought you were gonna build a box around it.
Yeah.
And they're saying you're going on the tower.
Yeah, 3 sides of the tower.
Okay. So,
As long as it gets registered,
okay,
if not. we're
he's
gonna
gotta
fight.
be registered.
Yep,
And who does he submit the bill to?
Rachel.
Okay. I took care of that question. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah.
This is what I think had raised for December. Which we're getting better. We're going on track.
Oh, he's getting it too?
This is, we haven't received, which it may be in the mail, on the post office line. But we haven't received their collections yet, but this is what Mr. O'Hara got for us.
They're $352.
After the meeting.
Morning. Yeah, how are you?
Good.
Here for the monthly report and, one other thing. I would tabled last month, the last meeting. Currently, this is for December. We're operating 3 out of 6 ambulances, knock on wood. The only thing is in the shop floor is getting the power load system mounted. 100% of the time we're staffed, paramedic at Chase Car and at Knox Base. We have an increase of 22% of staffing to 58% currently. We have had 2 ALS staff ambulances, all times 29% coverage. We had 3 paramedics as well. On one on the transfer truck, and we had 4 transfers. Last month, we did 48 out of 48 requests. We did a total of 58 transfers, including coming out of Pulaski County, since Pulaski can't handle their transfers right this time because they're down to 1 ambulance for the county. We have no full-time openings for EMTs. We have 12 on schedule. 5 part-time applicants received again. 2 new part-time EMTs hired. Basically, they're going straight to the transfer truck. 1 applicant received application. 4 current full-time paramedics, 6 full-time openings, and 3 new part-time paramedics. Again, they're on a 24-hour once a month. That's they're doing the bare minimum, but they're doing it, which is working out great. Training 2024, the schedule's still being written. We're going to 2 trainings a month. And we're actually bringing in guest speakers such as Lutheran. Everything is just falling right into place with the training. I mean, we got ACLS coming, CPR coming, patient assessments coming. Last injury, once again, August 5th. Ambulance, everything's up to date, except for 3 of them that are getting ready to go in for service, just routine everyday service. Base. I'm having a hard time getting estimates for the electrical outlets. I've gotten 1.
Well,
Which this one guy told me it's gonna be over 1,500. The one estimate I do have for the outlets I gave you is for $932, and that covers all the outlets at all 3 bases. We've been going about this, trying to get estimates since September. Finally, I got somebody to commit to it.
you got that in your budget?
Yes, I do have that in my budget. So, that's where the spare ambulance is plugged in. So we're gonna have the transfer truck plugged in at Medic 3, then 1 spare at Grovertown and 1 spare at Or Jones Jackson.
You got boxes out there, you just need an addition.
No, this includes boxes and everything.
That's what I mean, though, do you already have any?
No,
Okay.
we have no
You need-
outside outlets. Excuse me, we have one outside outlet that's in a place that's way inaccessible. Grants are just now started reopening for the year. We did receive a donation as part of a series of pop-up grants to local first responders from Northern Indiana Community Foundation for $1,000. PPE is all good. Winter coats were ordered. We're still awaiting delivery. They're on back order, half of them right now. No sense in getting them until they're all here. Everybody's covered with sweatshirts and using plain black coats right this second. But there's just so many variables in that. The other reason why I'm here is I would like to take 2 already assigned positions that are allocated for full-time paramedic. The chances of getting full-time paramedics to cover these positions is very hard nowadays, since there's still a shortage, but I'm compensating by using part-timers. With the transfers that we're doing, I have yet to turn down a transfer. If I have to take it, somebody's taking it. So what I would like to do is take those 2 full-time paramedic positions, downgrade them for EMT driver full-time position. So it's not like we already have the positions there, they're just not being filled. So we fill them with an EMT driver. It's cheaper, and they can go straight to the transfer truck. The goal is to have the transfer truck up and running 24 hours a day. And you have 6 full-time slots unfilled as it is. Right, and I already have 6 full-time slots So- unfilled. So if we do this, you'll still have 4 paramedic slots we're looking to fill. Yes. So we'll have 2 additional personnel that are EMT. Yeah, they're drivers right now, but they'll be out of school. They're part of the grant program. Right. And they'll be out in May. Yeah.
So there's really no money change. You just-
There's no money changes, Yeah, but position. Well, I mean, if they're going, if the job rec is a paramedic and we move it to EMT, that's a cost savings.
Right.
So, if you can say it in your motion that you're changing the 11 full-time paramedics and the 11 full-time EMT to 9 full-time paramedic and 13 full-time EMT, is that correct?
That is correct. Going from 9,
So,
from the 11 to 9 full-time paramedics to
The
13
11.
full-time EMT driver positions.
Anybody?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? On this electric, my opinion, I know we normally drive for 3, estimate, but you know.
We've been at it for a full
Yeah,
Winter's
quarter.
gonna be over and ain't gonna need to plug in.
yeah. Well, the ground's kind of frozen out too.
can I ask one request?
Hmm.
So you're doing transfers for Pulaski County? Not that you're taking them from our county and taking our Pulaski, you're going to Pulaski, picking up the patient. Did you, or could you verify, I'm sure it's fine, but could you verify with Carrie that that's okay?
Yes,
Okay.
I will. I didn't, but I will.
Just to be safe.
Yeah. Good call. The last thing is, back to revisiting the training officer. The 50-cent bump.
I thought we already approved that.
We did. I just need to reiterate, make sure that before I go to the council tonight, that we did do it. Because there was some controversy earlier.
Right. I thought it was approved. I don't remember. You might.
It's approved by you guys.
We have to do a salary,
Right, council.
salary ordinance modification for the 50 cents. And further down the list is a key request. Do you want to do that now while we have it? Well,
We can while you're sitting.
Yeah.
key request for Kelly.
Yeah.
To get in and out, which is working out beautifully.
I'll make a motion to get Kelly the key.
Second.
All in favor?
Good. Thanks, gentlemen.
What do you gotta decide on this way?
I'd say we go ahead and do it. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
make the motion that we approve the D&D electric.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You will.
Stay warm. Thank you.
You take care.
Hey, John, would you mind revisiting the co-op again?
Yeah, do you ready?
Yeah, so, well, what you'll have to do is approve the contract prices as presented. But then it takes Country Mark 24 hours to actually physically send the contract after he inputs everything, so it won't be done today.
I submit the bid,
But he has all the.
and then it takes a day for Country Market to process it, and then I can have all the contracts wrote up and ready to sign by tomorrow. So I just put together. I don't know how you guys want to do this. Do you need the base price, taxes, or the total price? Total prices.
We got our taxes through, Malcolm.
This is February through February. That's your total price. I left out the winter charge just because I don't know if that'll be
Right.
added on or not.
If you do, that'll be in.
Yep, and that'll be stated in the contract, winter blend 2 cent upcharge. So that's the prices for each month, right, as of right now for 2024. So wish there was a better way to do this.
That's right.
I can print all those out and I can bring them to the next meeting, or however you guys need me to do that. So
I think we make a motion on it, you just get the contract and give it to Rachel.
Okay,
She can
take care of it. Okay.
So motion for it,
I'll make the motion that we approve the,
how long did you put there, 1 year or 18?
12 months, February to February.
I'll make the motion that we approve the contract for the 12 months from co-op for the highway garage.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks.
I'll get them pulled. Thank you guys.
Sheriff, matron.
Not me this time, but. I'm just here for moral support. Because my name's on the paper.
Hi, guys. Thank you for entertaining our request. We're coming to ask for, 2 vehicles. The main reason was one of our vehicles was totaled in a car accident, and we've got either 5,600 or 6,600 that's gonna go back to county general for that. And then we're gonna go on and scrap the other cars that we have no use for, so we'll have more money coming back into the county general. These are the vehicles that we found. We're looking to get 2 used vehicles. One to replace the one that was in the accident, and then another one on top of that.
What was the one that was in the accident? What was that?
It was a Ford Taurus. It got T-boned in intersection with John.
Wasn't our fault.
Going this route, you get 2 for the price of 1, really.
Just about. Now, somewhere down the line, we're gonna have to hitch up for new vehicles, but this will definitely get us over the hump right now.
Okay.
My natural inclination is to go for the 2 that have the lowest mileage.
And that's kind of ours too, but we just wanted to give you options.
No, if you'd gone and put eyes on these and.
We have not yet.
Looked,
We have not.
have a good idea on their actual condition.
That outfit is pretty good. That outfit is pretty good. That's not the same one that we use for Tori's car.
No, I don't think
It's
so.
a different one.
Well, yeah.
These are the best prices, though. We've researched that to death. Yeah, we lost out on one that would have been really good. That was in Cherville, Ohio, but we lost out on that one.
If we go with this, I don't see the hours in here. If you just check the hours before we purchase it.
And then as far as like equipment and stuff, like equipping them, I mean, the lights and that, I mean, you guys have that.
This has, the one has it. All
I
right.
seen amber lights, that's why I was wondering.
Oh,
I didn't know if they.
They're wired. I don't know if they have lights on.
Some of them have lights, some don't, just depends on which one you buy. If like this one's got a brush guard and stuff like that, so some of them we may have to buy some light sticks, but we have like accident funds and certain funds that we can buy the equipment.
So you
trade
guys
out of.
did paperwork with
Yeah,
them.
reuse some of
We
it.
would have to go back for more money for that.
What are you gonna say?
I mean, really, it's, I mean,
So you're getting 2 for 1 more
Right.
or less,
Right,
and you can get them on the road.
yeah, and the mileage isn't that high.
No, no. Do they come with any kind of warranty, Jack? I can't remember if I asked.
I don't believe so.
You're all right with it?
Yeah, yeah, these would be my picks. I know.
That's the 37.
The ones with the lowest mileage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a motion on that? No.
I'll make the
I might
motion.
wanna put it like a total of 45 or 46 or something, in case he gets in one of these don't work.
Yeah, give us a little bit.
I'll make the motion that we approve the purchase of 2 vehicles from Chicago Motors Inc. Up to 46,000.
Second.
On favor?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, yeah.
Next, Jack, can I have your copy?
Sorry, anything you gonna put on there?
We forgot everybody but person with them on.
Is that where you?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, right, yes, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, so what I'm here for is to save the county money and not ask for any.
There you go. We like that.
So golf cart ordinance, okay, there's 2 of them. There's one where there was a late fee charge. That was the most recent. You don't have that one, but the one that I'm looking to change is the 2013 one. It is. Oh, there's 2 page 1, or no, there's not. Page 3,
I highlighted them. Page 3, the.
part
Yeah.
B.
Yeah.
Prior to each golf cart permit issuance, the Stark County Sheriff's Office, his or her appointee shall inspect the vehicle. So what we are looking to do is to change that. We normally go out to the lakes, the Coons Lake, Bass Lake, Bow Shores. Okay, that's my whole summer. It's May and June, okay, every Saturday. I'm a Monday through Friday kind of person, you know? I've been doing this for years. I kind of took it over because I wanted it done right. And I wanted to collect all the money that we have. Last or this year, we collected, or last year we collected
Just
over
under
22,000. Yeah, yeah.
22,960.
So that comes out to over 900 golf carts. That's a lot of golf carts. The reason why I want to change this is because we are thinking that we want to go ahead and have the customers come to the sheriff's office Monday through Friday. Jack and I discussed it. We thought maybe 1 or 2 Saturdays within May and June that I could be there
At the sheriff's.
at the sheriff's department.
Mhm.
They would sign a,
Basically, they'd sign a waiver saying
Yeah.
that their golf carts would pass. They
Right.
inspect them.
they're signing that, saying that it does, because majority of them do. We might have 1 or 2 that do not.
Do you have a copy of that?
Of this,
For us?
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
And then the majority of
Make sure
them
this
do.
would satisfy.
Yes. So, what I'm wanting is to save money because of all those golf carts that we go to, I mean, that first Bass Lake one is nuts. Traffic is crazy. I mean, we had to switch it over to the storage units because it was crazy.
Too many people.
Yes, and I mean, we're afraid people are gonna get hurt, you know, people are waiting in line, it's hard to find reserve, it's hard to find officers. Sometimes, not just that, not that one, but sometimes I'm at myself at Coons Lake or Boa Shores, you know, where I'm accepting this money, I'm responsible for this money, and I don't want any mistakes.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
we'd be saving at least 4 hours overtime every Saturday for an officer and for her.
Mhm.
So that, you know, 8 hours
Right.
every Saturday.
That would eat up the 23,000 we're actually getting from this.
Right,
But
right. So
Right.
we're, and the
Mileage.
23,000 goes to the or to the retirement fund.
Right.
So if we can minimize that, and it's kind of redundant, and she's out there by herself sometimes with a significant amount of money. And I really don't want to, you know,
Exactly.
if we can minimize our exposure out there, I think it would be a very good thing.
And another thing is, I looked it up for last year, the officer just calls for service alone was 202 calls just to go to golf
Where
carts
they want to come
inspections.
to the house.
Right.
Yes, where they want him to come to the house to inspect it. We don't need to inspect it. It states right there on that form that, you know, I mean, of someone, we can change it. I don't
Right.
care.
They-
But what I want them to do is come to the sheriff's office. They don't need to bring their golf cart. We do not need to inspect it. We need to have your copy of your insurance card. We need them to fill that out. Lines are crazy there. Okay, like I said, people are not prepared. Well, you know what? You can get prepared at our lobby. And
Well, There's gonna be somebody there, I mean, I know you're there all the time,
yeah,
like.
On a
it's gotta be
Saturday?
During the week or.
right. Yeah, and I am there, yeah,
Yeah,
during the
okay,
week.
right.
And
So,
there'll be one Saturday for May and June and
Right.
maybe July that we'll have her
Okay.
there for 3 or 4 hours,
mhm,
just in case.
And if Jen can't be, I
If
can be.
Right.
We'll make sure
Yes,
somebody.
that's what I'm saying, you get
We'll
4 or
make
5 come up there and nobody's around.
Yeah.
Make sure that
Right.
there's somebody there that can take care of it.
right. And the thing is that, you know, I go out to those, I have over 200 to bring back. And I have to receipt every single one of them in, so I'm doing double the work.
Right.
You know. So, and then I also want to change in the ordinance as well. The way it's worded, was F on page 3.
Sorry, I didn't highlight that one.
I know, I just looked at it this morning, so I'm like, oh, I better review this. It says on the last sentence, it says, we'll arrange with the Stark County Sheriff's Department for inspection. We need to take that out of there. And then also on page 4, H. It says something about permit from Marshall County, that we accept theirs, they accept ours, whatnot. Technically, we accept Knox City, we accept North Judson, and they accept ours. If any of our
Add all
people,
that in.
yeah, we need to add that, just to change that. Cause I just did a rough draft review of that, so. And we need to like do this ASAP if possible, because they are coming up. We did just order the golf cart stickers,
Leaving the money the same.
leaving the money the same.
Okay.
People are already calling about this.
Oh, they already called,
Yeah,
yeah.
Do we have to have 3 meetings just in the changes?
Not if the fees increase.
No. But I would like to see the specific language on paper in front of us before we take the action.
I mean, if we can get it done by our next meeting.
Right.
So,
And that's in
Yeah, I
February.
can.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Got a full
First-
notice
first
of
month.
Yeah.
It's got a penalty attached.
Okay.
So if we can have it just
30
on
days.
paper in front of us, that'd be.
All the
What's that?
changes.
Yeah.
Right, you need me to do it,
Do that.
change, do the changes, okay, and then just bring it to the next meeting or
Email it at least.
email.
Yeah.
to-
So you want a motion that
That 30-day mark.
we could approve it today after you, I mean, once you send that in to Rachel and us, then we can, it'll be approved.
Well,
after today.
We can probably.
Perfect.
We can, well, there's,
Yeah. Or tomorrow, if not, you know,
there's an added step.
Yeah, well, so since it prescribes a penalty, you're adjusting the ordinance, it prescribes a penalty.
Can you
It's gotta
put
be
that?
published and it won't take effect till 30 days after that
Yeah.
publication.
mhm.
So it'll be 30 days.
And that is fine, because normally we do not start our golf cart permits until May. For that year, you know,
So this should be done at least in March.
right?
Yeah, we just want to make sure we got to.
And so people can't come back and say, well, don't you need to inspect it, you know, because we
Right.
have a bunch that are happy
So
sometimes.
We'll just leave it like that, until our next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right, right, the specific language, make sure Justin gets a copy for review.
He's gonna report.
Okay,
Oh, he will, okay.
okay, yeah, work together and have it for our next
Do
meeting.
you
Please.
want us to send you what, I mean, she's done, or you've got your notes from just what she said,
Do
or?
you have something like this in Word? By chance?
I do not have that in Word.
no, we don't.
It's probably hard for me to stock. It's for 20.
And so I told her I could retype it, but.
I've got a paralegal.
Okay.
She likes stuff.
I was like, I don't need anymore.
The other only question, because I was trying to write as you were talking, the reciprocity, You said you accept Marshall County, Knox, or Judson, was there a note?
Well, see, I didn't know we accepted Marshall, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know why.
I don't even know why that was even in there. Probably because they already have it because
It
of
might have,
culture.
well, and it might have been adapted or, yeah.
Yeah.
Kings Lake area.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yes.
Well, then we ought to do something.
Yeah, well then,
But
Yeah.
just Knox, North Judson, there was no other town. there?
no, Hamlet doesn't have one. Do they?
I'm not sure.
I, see,
Okay,
I
I'll
don't.
just keep it. Okay.
That might be because Coons Lake is partially in. Marshall.
Right, that's what we
Well,
have.
that's,
Mhm.
yeah, that's the same
But
Joseph County.
we could word it any permits in Stark County that are golf cart ones or something of the sort, or you can say Knox City, because we do. I mean, but see, they can't take our golf cart permit fee and we can't take theirs. So if there's a call in the city for a golf cart, city has to do it. If there's one out in the county, county has to go do it.
Right.
So
Are the fees the same? I mean, that's probably a dumb quick.
I believe they are. Mhm. But I think they do theirs at different times, correct? Yeah, I think so.
And the fees that they get for golf carts, go into their shared retirement.
Right,
Right,
and we
yeah.
collected what, 22,960? Yeah.
That's a
So.
significant amount.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
I mean,
Just for golf carts.
yeah,
I wouldn't have believed how many golf cart permits there was until the first weekend I helped her, it was like.
you know, and calls for
Yeah.
service, 202. That's a lot of calls. I
Yeah.
mean, and that's taking a guy, I mean, he's not really off the road, but he should be patrolling or
Putting
something.
in there, you're not doing the officers.
No.
No,
We wouldn't.
We don't want to do inspections.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Put that in there that the officers don't.
Right, they'll have to come to the sheriff's
Yeah, they have
office.
to come to the
Because,
sheriff's
I mean,
office.
you got emergency stuff, you don't have time. for
Yeah.
it.
And we're trying to free up the guy more
Right.
and more and more.
Right.
That's what the theory here is, or part of the theory.
Can that be added in there, Justin, that they'll have to come to the sheriff's department to
No
do
more
their
calls.
permit? No more house calls.
I thought that's what under inspection, what we were.
Is that
going
what-
to-
Yeah, we're gonna change that.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
It's a benefit. I mean, it really is. I mean, there'll be,
Send that to you?
If you have that
Sure.
word.
Mhm,
there'll
yep.
be some people that'll be upset, but in reality, I think after the second year, though, nobody's gonna complain at all. They may complain this year, but next year they won't, because it's handy.
Right,
I mean, you don't have to take your Saturday, and we'll still have somebody there on one Saturday a month.
Right.
But, for the ones that, or for the lake people that are from
Yeah,
Chicago, or
if you-
whatever, they can't
If
make.
you had
right.
We'll make it.
one of these areas, you would sign the paper real fast.
Yeah, you rewrite it.
Rewrite.
You just, that's what.
Perfect. Are you rewriting it or are we rewriting it?
I'm sorry, the ordinance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
There's a couple. Okay. Just a couple of things that you have to-
right, yeah, I figured. I didn't do that one because I looked at it and I was like, okay,
11 years ago. that's-
yeah, that's a long time.
Things have changed. I'm probably gonna, if you guys are okay with it, I'm gonna update what constitutes a golf cart, because I've changed that for a couple of years, because some people are getting things by.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just as a vehicle design and manufacturer operation on a golf course, like it also encompasses a gator that does.
Yeah.
I'm on there too. So with your permission, I'm gonna adjust that. Unless you want to allow gators.
Yeah.
Well, in the Gators, there is an ordinance for
The
the
UTVs.
UTVs, so we already have one of them. That was in
Which
18, I believe.
well, I don't know, like them Polaris Rangers and stuff, they're a little safer than I think the golf carts.
Absolutely,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I
We get a
mean,
lot of
they're
complaints about
Yeah.
that too.
They're built.
There was a lot of back and forth, to make sure this conformed with how things are laid out with specific vehicle types and state law as well. So, you know, we just need to make sure we're meshing well with the state's definitions of things.
So you have the UTV ordinance too, I mean, that covers the UTV, so no one can really be able to say that they're taking anything away, so.
And you
Right.
have to do those through the state, too.
You have to do that through the BMV,
Yeah,
yes.
BMV,
Mhm. And
I guess that's
the
enough.
insurance too, we had a little difficulty with some people, they were just having it on their homeowners per se. And that was where you can't go on the road, you know, you have to have it like it's a car
Yeah,
somewhat,
right.
you know? Because some people just had it homeowners and we had to make them change that. And there are some that do have it under homeowners, but it does state that it does cover the road. It depends on, yes, it depends on the insurance company per se.
Yeah. Depends on the wording of the rider.
Right.
Mark,
So-
can you tell me, are we good? Which two?
Okay.
Thank you.
I got work to do.
Yeah,
Thank you.
maybe.
Thank you.
It was these two, right? Yep. The lower ones.
Yeah.
Or up to 46.
Yeah.
In case one of them don't.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I need to get hold of you, give you my contact, because you're our guy.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
What
you.
do you got going on the between now and 3?
Nothing.
Good, I'll come out and visit you.
Okay.
Probably shortly after.
I'll be back by, I'll make sure we're back.
You're making-
Yeah.
Good.
$20.
$20,
Yeah. you got me.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Look at, there we go. She's gonna make them for 15.
Yeah.
Bill Rachel. Bye, guys, thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
See you tonight.
See you guys.
Did you guys get,
Yeah, I got it.
okay, if you guys already have a copy, go ahead. You have a copy of it?
No, I did not. have any copies.
She left it out. She don't like it.
No, I got it. Sorry, I should have told her.
I just don't, in case. Okay. The first thing is, the cell phone. I went, at budget time last year to the council to get approved for a cell phone for our code enforcement officer. They approved the additional funding for the cell phone for her. So I just need approval for her to be put onto the county cell phone plan.
But she part-time, ain't she?
Right.
What was the justification for giving her a cell phone?
She's out on the road quite a bit and she takes photos usually with her phone, her personal phone she uses. However, the photos, I'm actually working on that to where she won't have to take them with the phone so much, but she'll be taking them, we're planning on getting her like an iPad. But with having the iPad, she's gonna need the phone to use as like a hotspot. Because our software program is all third-party online.
So we talking getting an iPad that has
No,
the
I'm
integrated
not,
cellular service with it?
no, I'm not talking about an iPad at all here. All we're talking about is a cell phone. An
But you're gonna get an
iPad,
iPad
no,
later.
yeah, but I won't have to go through you guys for the iPad. I have funding.
We just
for
have to
it.
approve the phone because it's gonna be added to.
Well, no, that it just. Cause iPads have the capability of
Right.
receiving cellular data and.
She also needs the ability though, in the event that like, she's in a car accident or something. To where she can call for help or, call the office if there's an event where she needs somebody else out there.
Can't you go get it like a
Well, no.
Bible phone or whatever?
That's, no, what I'm saying is.
You can do it
iPads,
all in one.
yes, you don't need an additional device, in addition to an iPad, you can get an iPad with a cellular plan attached to it. And do calls through the one device instead of carrying around two different devices. Right, yeah, that hasn't changed.
My
Actually,
biggest thing, and like I say, nothing against her, is being a part-time driver.
Well, yeah, and she's not taking the phone home. It can stay here. When she's not using it, it can stay in the office.
Well, it's
It's
not about
not-
that, it's about.
Yeah.
Buying two devices when we only really need one.
18, I just got two iPads for the Foreman truck and my truck. It's 99 cents the iPad itself, and we just pay service on it.
Yeah.
So that was the services.
I'd say. if
29?
we-
$32.
I'd say
a month.
in order to get what, what's like we need to achieve with the phone, I think if we get the iPad that has that
Capability built into it.
capability, I mean, Let's
Yeah.
just do it all in one and then she's got it.
Stanley just said an iPad's cheaper for my phone.
$32 versus $42.
Okay.
I mean, if that's what we're looking to in the future, then that
Would that be good for you?
Does she have a personal cell phone?
She does.
Okay.
And that's what that was the problem. She's been using her personal cell phone.
I understand, but we all do,
Right,
you know.
right, but.
Yeah,
I mean,
that-
she's a part-time employee though, that we're going to that point then.
Well, I mean, it sounds like the only thing you've asked her to use her phone for work for is to take pictures, which that should already have
She has
a
been.
camera
Yeah, but I mean, okay, for instance,
in the department.
there was an issue where she was in a collision. A couple of years back,
Mhm.
and at the time, she was in her personal vehicle. Because she didn't have a county car to use at the time, so. You know, that's been remedied to where she has a county car vehicle to be using. As far as. The phone though, I mean. It's one of those things though too, where, you know, I mean, she's using. Her money and to, you know, pay for her phone bill and that. And her storage on her personal phone. For photos that are work related.
Again, that should have been remedied with the department purchasing a camera dedicated for that function long ago. But if we're gonna go forth and acquiring a device for that purpose, I think it should be an iPhone with all of the features integrated into it. That will-
iPhone or iPad?
iPad. Sorry. The only difference is size.
Well,
I call them the same thing,
They got the same.
but yes, a
No,
tablet.
Yeah, I get what you're
A
saying.
tablet with integrated cellular service functionality is the way we need to go. I think that's what you should be bringing before us.
Do you want her to look for the 99 cent deal that I just got with our company?
APSA, yeah, that deal,
I can speak with.
yeah,
the rep
between
today.
the
that going
I've heard
to-
99 cents and I've heard 30 some odd bucks. Whichever is the most,
That's for the product, the 32 is for the monthly.
okay,
service.
so let's,
Okay, is that
That.
gonna interfere though with funding that council already approved though?
No, you'd pay it out of that fund.
okay.
So make a
I'll
motion.
make a motion that, Plan Commission acquire the, tablet device as specified, by the IT department.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
One nay.
And then the second thing, I emailed you guys all. Information, I've been in contacts with, the company we go through for all of our permitting software that we use. It's a third party, company that we go through. Everything we do is, web-based through it. The first page here that I gave you is a list of different counties in Indiana that currently offer online permitting. I tried to stay mainly in northern Indiana. Down at the bottom, there's a few other towns that I listed that actually use the same software that we use. The cities that have the asterisks next to them are, counties, some of them, yeah, counties. The counties that have the asterisks next to them are the similar population size according to the 2023 county fact book. So their population is very similar to ours. As you can see, there's quite a few counties that are already doing online permitting, especially in northern Indiana. I did give you a few recommendation letters or letters or emails from contractors around the area that would be very interested in us getting online permitting up and running. I only reached out mainly to electrical contractors because that is our highest permit that we do most frequently, I should say. And then there is another email in there from Crane Systems, I believe. And that guy, he's actually out of Missouri. And he drove here from Missouri to get a permit with us to do work. Because we don't offer any online.
You know what that was, the office?
Yeah,
It was like 3,000 or something.
it's like an additional 3,000.
Per year.
So.
Yeah.
Our so right now, we're at 3,087 or $3,087. Which will give us 3 web forms to use. And then we're currently at 3,500, what we're using right now. So it'll be a total of $6,587
Yearly.
per year.
Per year.
How, just procedurally, how will this interact with the permits that require inspections?
The what?
Permits, do we have a permit, do we issue permits on a contingent on an inspection?
They're not contingent on an inspection, they're contingent on their site plan that they submit to us. Any permit that's applied for online like this, which we would start out with just electrical permits and contractor registrations. The electrical permits, those are issued right away. But any permit that's done online first would have to get, it would come to me, basically. I'd get like an email from it stating, hey, somebody applied for a permit, and it wouldn't be approved until I had looked through it, or one of the other girls in the office had looked through it, made sure everything was entered that we need for it.
And it would automatically go to Bowles, right, to.
Right,
Or the inspector.
yeah. And then there would be a way for people also to request an inspection permit too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How are you, so I think you budget your software in Stanley's budget, right?
Yep.
So how are you, I know for 2025, you guys could work together and increase that line, but this year, do you have any ideas for that increase?
That's why I'm here.
Okay. So you're asking.
That's why I'm here,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Do you need us to fund it
Right.
this year or every year?
This year and then.
Every year.
This year, and then we'll
Put it in the.
In the budget then, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I
So
mean.
where are we gonna fund it from for this year? Okay.
A motion?
Make a motion to approve the iWork cost proposal presented for the annual subscription fee of $6,587 this year to be paid from June. Yeah.
You only want the like 3,000.
Yeah, the 3,087.
The other can be paid from.
Yeah, it's already
Yeah, that's
budgeted for the
already-
3,500, but
That's already budgeted.
Okay.
so they had a motion, I'll make the second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You wanna do this one here too?
Yes, why don't you do the Matt Lawrence thing?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to-
So we had a letter of interest from Matt Lawrence to be a new member on our board. Just currently we're short a member.
One reason.
On the planning commission?
Oh, that's why I got a phone call from the real estate agent out of Coon Lake that was interested in joining the plan commission.
Right, that would be a good. Good option.
I mean, he attends the drainage board meetings and he's in there, so I'm assuming be at these. I'd make a motion that we appoint Matt Lawrence to the planning commission.
Second,
Yeah, I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now I just made somebody mad at me.
I think everybody happy.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah,
your time.
Thank you. Now you can talk.
Our monthly report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
We've had a mild November and December. During the first week of January, we decided.
We're making up for it now.
We decided it would be a good idea to do a dress rehearsal plow day where the drivers put on their plows on the truck and then run through their areas at plowing speed, looking for areas that may need plow markers and memorizing where their recently chipped roads are. It looks like, well, I should check that statement. It looks like January will be relatively mild, even though
That's why it's so cold.
it is.
That's why you put it in your report that it's going to be mild.
We have been having a hard time finding 11 stone lately. We wanted to start hauling the last few weeks of December, but with an area shortage in 11 stone, it has been difficult on the days we are not treating our areas for future snow events and plowing. We have been patching all areas and keeping up on complaints and work orders that we receive. For training, the Purdue Road School is March 12th through the 13th. I was actually on one of the committees to choose the financial classes for road school this year. I'll be attending as representation for the highway department and also for the Indian Auditors Association. If any of you guys want to go, just let me know. I'll sign you up. The road school's actually free. It's just the hotel room if you stay the night.
That's in March.
Yep, March 12th and 13th.
Yeah, I need to get signed up for that.
Okay. The APWA Snow Conference will be held in Kansas City, Missouri this year at the end of April 2024. Although I believe this is a very beneficial conference for both the superintendent and the foreman to attend, we will be waiting until it is a little closer to Indiana. They should be coming back to Michigan soon, because they do come to Michigan every couple of years. LTAP Road Scholar courses. This year I plan on implementing training requirements for the drivers. LTAP currently has a Road Scholar program, which was designed to serve as a core knowledge base for those actively involved in Indiana local roads. This program provides attendees with foundational information about road care and allows opportunities for networking with peers and industry leaders. Participants attend 12 core courses, elective conferences and workshops to accrue credit hours. Once the 12 courses are completed and the 300 credit hours have been attained, participants are awarded the title of road builder. The title of master road builder is awarded once the 600 credit hours have been accrued. I am a road builder. I've listed all the core courses for you, just so you can get look at all the courses that are available. On January 4th, I had spoken to Steve Sanders with Next Era. He let me know that beginning the week of January 8th, they will have a crew of grading and patching roadways 2 days a week, every week, which I think last week was a little messed up. I don't think they did the 2 days. This is an improvement to the timeline that was occurring. But in addition to their 2 days a week, I still plan on having my crew out there when needed.
I know 400 was getting for us again, but
Okay.
it's, I don't know if it'd be patching that right now.
Right, I'll let Brian know.
How well does the patch material integrate with the material that was applied to stabilize the road?
It doesn't,
Not really. but-
no.
Okay.
And we're actually, that's not even pug, that's cold mix, which
Yeah.
is much better grade than
Mhm.
pug, and it's not even doing
No.
it, so no.
No.
I just gave you our revenue and distributions for MVH and MVH restricted and LRS. Update on the bridges there. The community crossing grant 2023-02 CCMG grant for chip seal program. The project consists of a total of 15 miles, which will include total road between Highway 23 and County Line, which is 1200 east. We're also doing 1150 east between 225 south and 625 south. Bids were opened on December 18th and the bid was awarded to Central Paving on January 2nd. This work will begin spring of 2024. For 2024-01 CCMG, and that's why Tim's online and he has waited an hour and a half. Thank you, Tim.
You're fine. Yeah, I've been doing other stuff, listening in.
In case you have any questions. We would like to apply for HMA overlay on 600 north in certain areas from 600 east to State Road 23. 400 north from US 35 to Range Road now, 100 east. And possibly the new road that was just built in the Deerview Estate subdivision, which is also called Johnson subdivision. The pricing, the grand total would be $2,046,588.50. The grant would be for 1.5 million, and then our portion would be $546,588.50. Which is there.
That's for those three different
Yes.
sector roads.
Have we made any progress tracking down the core samples that were allegedly taken a few years ago?
Yes, we have those, and I gave those to Tim. Tim, have you had a chance to review the core samples?
Yes, we took a look at those and we implemented that number upon the depth into our estimate. A lot of good information came from those, so thank you.
Okay, so the overlay plans would still suffice for how we want to get that road fixed up?
So on that road, we are still looking at doing full depth patching 5 feet along the north and south in certain areas. Especially in those areas that it's crumbling more than others. And so we accounted for that full depth patching as well in our estimate. Then we also included a BioSeal to ensure that the final product is sealed up tight to prevent any future damage.
Okay, because that was the stretch of road we were initially told there'd be 500 truckloads of muck that would have to be dug out, and the whole base would need to be redone. But this is after your review, we don't have to get that extensive with construction.
We are not anticipating it. We estimated almost 70,000 feet of full depth patching at that 5 foot width. So roughly 1.5 miles would be full depth patch. But that's only doing it 5 feet wide.
I don't know if Tim would be able to. I don't even know who would be able to tell you whether. They got the 4 samples, and he said 500 truckloads. I don't know who would be able to tell you, like, no, you don't have to do that, or yes, you do. Do you know what they mean, Tim?
Can you repeat the question? I didn't
So the previous superintendent had told the commissioners that basically they shouldn't be doing any improvements to 600 north, because 600 north needs completely torn out, and 500 truckloads of muck needs to be
It might have been
taken out and replaced.
Number that's in my mind, but yeah, basically the only productive solution as what was presented to us was to completely dig out, put in a new road bed going down probably I don't even remember how, but going down complete almost to bedrock, it sounded like, and rebuilding the road up. But if this is a solution that will get us, a few years of use without that road, crumbling, that's really what I need to know.
Understood. Yeah, so looking at the cores, it looks that like this will be able to help preserve the road. Now, obviously, doing a full reconstruction is going to give you the longevity. We do anticipate some of those full depth needing to touch that subgrade, and we included subgrade treatment in those areas. It's about 4 inches thick right now. So the majority of the road, we are going to be taking off 2 inches. And so the idea is that those full depth areas are only impacted along those shoulders.
Okay.
So we're not like adding. We're actually removing some of the pavement before we add to it.
Correct.
Okay, that makes sense.
It'll be a 2 inch mill and fill. So we take off 2 inches and put back 2 inches. But those areas that we do full depth, we'll remove 2 more inches of pavement, but we're also including an extra inch of that base.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so what for that, I just needed the commissioner's approval to move forward with applying for the 2024-01 CCMG.
How much on that stretch of that Johnson subdivision? I mean, that's what needs finished, right?
Yes, so,
Cause how much like lengthwise was that, or, I mean, was that, cause he had a little bit that he couldn't use, so he wanted to use, you know, like part of that money for that?
well, we put the base down on Johnson subdivision, but according to the plans and the plat that was approved,
Right.
it requires an HMA overlay. The HMA overlay, as Tim has it in here, it's gonna be almost $200,000. So I just thought, Don had mentioned like, well, maybe we can save money and put it in with this, so we can at least get 75% paid by this,
Right.
and then we're only paying the 25%.
Mhm.
Because regardless, even if we didn't put it in here, we would still have to come up with
Yeah.
$200,000 to do it,
Right.
which is,
Yeah.
Yeah, cause if we don't, then it's.
Mhm.
yeah, because it is.
I've already been questioned. Before it even got started.
Yay.
Did that answer your question or?
Yeah.
Now, if we do this and then something come up, we decide to change roads, can we change roads or not?
We'll just do-
Tim, can we change the roads or, I know we can decrease what we're doing on each like the 600, the 400, if we wanted to make it shorter, but could we actually change roads or no?
In talks with NDOT, they said no in the LaPorte district. So once we've committed to doing these 3 roads, utilizing the CCMG funding, they're wanting the county to move forward with these 3 roads.
So if we wanted to, just for example, take a mile off 400 North, we could do that though.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Good.
Not saying we do, I'm just asking
right.
if we could.
Yeah. And there's I mean, this program is gonna go away. We can
Right.
keep
I
at
was just-
in the coming years.
Yeah.
And we'll see how interesting road funding gets after 2025.
Right. I just think that Johnson, because we gotta do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'll be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is, so I was kind of estimating only $500,000 for our local. But since we had to do the Johnsons anyways, might as well put it in there, so it's a little bit more than I. Was estimating for spending out of CDIT roads and bridges, but as we get to that point, it'll work out. Okay,
Something else that I would like everyone to consider is that there is a second application in the fall. So if we don't utilize the full 1.5 million, we are able to apply a second time to utilize the remaining amount. So if we eliminate Johnson and the bids come in lower, we could apply in the fall for the remaining amount.
I don't think we want to eliminate Johnson though.
Yeah.
so I just would like your approval to move forward with the grant application.
I'll make that motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Tim, you're released, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
We have purchased a motor for truck 9. It was about $8,500, but there's a $1,500 port charge. This is a 2005 Sterling dump truck. The cost for the motor, never mind, I put it in there. Number 9 will become a spare truck when it is finished. We have also purchased old truck 16. This is a 1997 tandem dump truck. This was sold at the county auction in 2020. Old truck 16 has many new parts, but the motor is bad. We will be taking the motor out of the twin sister to this truck, which is truck 17. That truck 17 is out of service due to the bed falling apart and it is no longer safe to drive. We're gonna put the motor out of old truck 16 we're gonna take the motor out of 17 and put it into 16 and also use the dash from 17 to fix the dash in 30 because truck 30 is a regularly used truck and it does not have heat, so it's
So effectively, we're just turning 17 into a parts truck and we're gonna have 2 improved trucks out of that one parts truck. Sounds good.
It was announced last month that regarding the $5,000 donation that we received from Stark County Community Foundation, all items have been delivered, and on January 8th, we passed those items out to the drivers and the mechanics. Each driver and mechanic received a bag with a winter coat, heavy sweatshirt, light sweatshirt, gloves, hat, and a first aid kit. And you can see all my happy people right here. That's great. And then I just gave you an updated Malcon reimbursement report. They're still working. They started in 2020 and they're still working their way up to 2024. Which, hey, money back.
One thing on the left, you did find a place to start getting.
The 11s, how the stone quarries hand out their business now is a little different than what I'm used to. But US Aggregates did come and talk to us last week sometime, and I believe that we have a fix for not being able to find 11s. So hopefully. Anything else?
All right. Thank you. Motion for claims, $264,393.51.
So moved.
I'll second.
On favor. Motion to accept the payroll claims, $331,242.76.
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
The Paul has his haircut. I asked him if I could do it the next time. He said.
Motion to accept the minutes of January 2nd meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't have any numbers.
Yeah, got a request from Kay Goodman on the council to be appointed to the CVC.
We don't have no spot.
I thought we did.
We did too, but we were checking this morning anyway.
I mean, so this is unless I have somebody wrong on there, this is your updated appointment list. Check it, please, and make sure that I did all your updates correctly. And while I'm stalling you for a little while, Frank is on his way over. Because Frank is back to work.
Is he really? Awesome.
Yes, he is. I was wondering what to do this, is that okay?
Sure.
Mary told me to give him a statement.
Okay, thank you.
Are you taking me to lunch, Mitch?
I'm not paid enough for that.
That ain't right.
Wow.
Well, that's that,
It's just a holiday.
In the evening. Yeah, I didn't think there was a spot, but it was.
yeah, I thought, I didn't realize I thought we had only reappointed 9 people. I thought, we only appointed 8 people. I thought the 9th slot was still open.
There was 2.
So those that I had listed there is on your 2020, so if you look at the 2023 one I sent out, all those people are listed, but all the dates in 2023 on it, because I had the dates wrong, I didn't know that it was a 2-year appointment. But if there's somebody on there that you think that shouldn't be on there, I don't know. But that was my fault too, because Kay did ask me about your open appointments and I told her these, and
Right.
that was my mistake. Hey Frank, do you want to sit down?
We just definitely check on it
Yes.
just to make sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
'Cause if there is a spot, I'm not gonna pick it.
Yeah. I really thought we only put 8 people on it this year.
Double check.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's 2 different things.
One is. Oh, wait,
Look like,
what did I give you?
these look like 2 different things, but. They're titled the same. Oh, no.
Okay.
The job
This is the
description?
one.
Yes.
Yeah, they are two different.
Okay,
but
yes.
I'm gonna combine them. I need a food person first. And once I get a food person in place and they're doing food good, then I'll throw it in. As that way we're meeting the requirements of the first meeting.
Yeah, this is one of those things that has to be advertised for 60 days.
Yeah,
30.
so for 30 days, so
30.
you guys would have to approve it and then we'd have to advertise it for 30 days. Does it say where we have to, or just anywhere?
Well, it's pretty non-specific.
I think it's the same advertising rules as every other public notice.
So just on our website
And
and.
that's it. I thought we already had it on Indeed. Yeah.
No, because they hadn't approved it yet, so
Gotcha.
sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, it's just. Got 30 days now to find someone.
Do I have a motion to put this job title in place?
It'll be food. Like I said, once you get the food down, they're gonna start doing the updating on the preparedness stuff.
Good.
Sherry Fagner. Last account.
Okay.
She did food and preparedness. Took care of all of it, so it's not gonna be an issue as far as that. Wrap in an education component at some point down the line, so as that we're getting back into schools as far as doing tobacco prevention and what have you.
Right.
But I mean, baby steps, what I'm taking right now. So the food person first, but they will be taking over the preparedness end of it. Then we're meeting requirements.
Well, I'll second, but I do have a follow-up questions pertaining to cost and funding. We have because we've got the job descriptions, we have desired salaries.
It's gonna pay what clerk salary pays.
I think
Okay,
it's
That's why
30 37 now.
37 per
Like,
day,
I bet salary.
that's annually.
and then with benefits,
Okay.
and then.
Well, we come out of that.
Yeah,
statement,
that's gonna
yeah.
come out of
Okay.
the South First Indiana stuff. I budgeted for it in my 1159,
Okay.
but since we've got the South First Indiana money all approved and everything like that, she put a line item in there to cover everything for that.
Good. Yeah.
And you don't want to join them together now, Frank? I can redo it.
It's gonna be a matter of other duties as needed kind of thing, you know, I mean, and that's it. I've taken on 7 hats, so somebody can take one of them
Right.
and, you know, eat it. I don't.
Okay.
Sorry, public meeting and all, but.
I'm fine with it. I just want.
You know, like I said, that's it. The combining of it, I think will only overcomplicate it, because I'm not looking for a full-time preparedness person.
Right.
You know, I want the preparedness updated, and then we need to be doing. Once we get further along in it, then we can start getting into the trainings and.
Yeah, and you put it in there, had other duties or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right here.
I make sure that that's in the end of all of my job descriptions.
Yep.
A motion
Yeah.
from Charlie, second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. How you feel?
I'm here.
You're here? Look, you good.
How you feeling?
Good.
Good?
My pain's about gone.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. No, I'm doing good.
Good. Good to see you.
Get everything caught up now.
Right. Yep.
That's not cheap.
Anything else?
Got another bill from the US 30 coalition. Are we gonna ignore this like we have the last 3 years? Okay, but I do need to find an additional person, between now and the I'm hoping to recruit somebody from Hamlet. To replace Lisa.
That I want to send Mike to next week.
Now that she's gone.
Did you ever ask Chuck?
I want to be arranged
I think I
with that
did.
Health First Indiana money, so.
But I can ask him again.
Might be, and there's a second, that's like $500.
Yeah.
It's a couple weeks late. You should have to do this one before you can do the first.
I'm pretty sure he's really enjoying retirement.
You know, whether it's.
Right.
But yeah, I'll
Or if they're just gonna send us.
ping him again.
The meetings are they once a month?
No, not even, and they're on Zoom.
You know what I mean?
You know anybody else?
Just trying to figure that out.
No people here, but.
Okay, but yeah, that's on my to-do list between now and the ninth.
This is taking.
The next meeting on the 9th for the coalition.
Is that good? And you guys anything?
No, I don't think so.
So I was thinking. If that's the case, so I got it. Maybe might have to wait.
No, I don't think so. I thought there was something, but I guess there's not.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Okay,
Thanks,
that,
Thanks, Frank.
so there's moving through the planning commission still.
So, yeah, and I was on vacation last week, but they had a meeting, I sent them the ordinance, at least just to look at, because I had asked that they set up for a public hearing
Okay.
in February, and then following the public hearing, you know, it can be approved or modified or whatever is wanted, so. Didn't hear a lot of pushback or anything,
No.
since it seems like a pretty positive thing. I don't know if anybody could complain about it.
Right.
So. I think we're on track there.
Okay. I had that Bass Lake deal, when we do the contract, you make sure when you put in there, we do not do the maintenance or nothing.
The easement agreement, yes, and I did put that in there.
Okay, I couldn't remember, I should have went back and looked, but
Ed just, actually this morning or last night, Ed responds back, said he just got back, so he's out of the country for a couple weeks.
right,
So he was gonna take it to his board and approve it, but yeah, a couple things is yes, all required maintenance and everything is on them. Also, the $4,000 payment is made regardless of whether or not they actually use that as an easement
Right.
site.
for 15 years,
Yes, for 15 years.
thank you. Rachel,
Nothing.
you can talk again.
I'm good.
Got anything?
Our printer will be delivered tomorrow and
Oh, good. Good, okay.
thank you.
Nice.
Stanley, you got anything? Show your KVI? No? Open the journal.
Day today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.